a song of ours called Strong Enough to Save. Fast, upbeat song. And there's this little phrase that kind of sneaks into the verse, and then it's gone. And you could pretty much just miss it if you're just listening haphazardly. And it says, fear is just a lie. And that's a kind of a big statement and very few syllables. And I kind of wanted to unpack that a little bit. There was a summer where we were driving in the van just a couple years ago, and so I had a lot of time on my hands, long drives. So I picked up this Russian novel, because I'm a bit of a dork, called The Brothers Karamazov, which is difficult to say. And it's by an author named Fyodor Dostoevsky, which is also difficult to say. And I was in the middle of reading this book, and this one phrase kind of jumped off the page at me, and it said, avoid fear, though fear is simply the consequence of every lie. Okay, so avoid fear, because fear happens when we believe a lie. Satan, this character called Satan that we're told about in the Bible, he's also referred to as the father of lies. That's kind of his MO, right? Meanwhile, you got God. The most repeated command in all of Scripture is, far and away, like hundreds of times more than any other Scripture, is do not be afraid. And you got Dostoevsky saying, okay, if you're afraid, it's because you're believing a lie. Could you imagine? If we didn't live our lives in fear, and the only way Dostoevsky is arguing, the only way that's going to happen is if you can actually pinpoint and identify what you're believing of, whether it's a lie or truth. And that's why Jesus says He is truth and His Word is truth, and why He might be so interested in me understanding and knowing and memorizing and marinating in what He said. Because He knows that if I know what's truth, then I won't believe the lie and I won't be afraid. So I guess my challenge to myself and to you is, are you afraid? Because there's a lot of things I'm still afraid of. And can you, in your head and in your heart, trace that fear back to a lie? Avoid fear, although fear is simply the consequence of every lie. Dostoevsky. Difficult to say. Difficult to believe. But true.